Everybody wants to get their business booming locally and globally. And Books to Boom Your Business brings to you authors, speakers, entrepreneurs who have powerful books that will make and keep your business and your personal lives booming. Welcome to the show, Books to Boom Your Business. Welcome to Books to Boom Your Business. And this is your lady, Dr. Lotus Riche. And I am so happy to be here this evening. And I hope everybody can see me. Because I can't see me. So let me see what's happening. Let me add myself to the stage, y'all. Give me a quick second to see what's going on here. All right. I see your comments. In there, I see your comments. Let me see what's going on here. I see something happening on the screen. I don't see a whole lot, but give me a quick second. And we're going to get this thing right and ready. Because I've got a great show for you this evening. The show is really about just about every person. But what's happening, I see, it was trying to come in on my cell phone. And I got somebody holding my phone. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Books to Boom Your Business. I'm your show host, Dr. Lotus Riche, right here in the DMV area, bringing to you authors who are simply amazing in their own right. We have authors from all around the world that join this show. And tonight, we are going to be talking about a magnificent book that you don't want to miss out on. Now, while we're talking about not missing out on anything, why don't you go ahead and tag a friend and tell them to come on in. Because tonight's topic is so hot, so powerful as we prepare for our upcoming guest. And he's none other than who? The architect himself, Mr. Kevin Thornton. Now, Kevin was called away tonight because of something I can't tell you about. He'll tell you next week when he's here on the show. But we're going to unpack his book. And his book is called The Man You Keep Avoiding. Say that with me. The Man You Keep Avoiding. The Man You Keep Avoiding book is a book that dives deep into some of the reasons why we do what we do. It dives deep into some of the things that we don't want to face. It dives deep into the questions that a lot of times we are answering ourselves, but we're asking ourselves, but we're not going to say it out loud because we don't want anyone to ridicule us. Now, this book is about healing, it's about purpose, and becoming whole. Because many of us, I won't say are broken, we just need to go back to that homeostasis point where we are really feeling in oneness with ourselves. Because let's face it, it's hard to be in oneness with somebody else if you're not in oneness with yourself, right? Right. So tonight, I'm going to bring up the book from this amazing young man. And we're going to talk about this book a little bit. And you'll see me down here below. And we're going to just pop his book up right here because his book is featured on Amazon. Now, I wanted to start off with talking about avoidance. And what better way to start than right here, the man you keep avoiding, breaking the patterns, reclaiming your power, and becoming whole. Now, right here, this says you're not sabotaging your life, you're abandoning yourself first. And I encourage you all, take notes, because note takers are money makers. Because tonight we're doing a little something different. We are inviting each and every one of you to share your questions about this book, to share your questions about some things that might be happening in your life that this book can help you resolve. From the outside, you look like you've got it all together. And many of us do, especially men. And you handle your responsibilities, you show up, you stay strong. But internally, guys, something feels off. Now, tonight, I'm talking to the men because this is the man you keep avoiding. But I'm also talking to the women. Why? Because many of you have great men in your life and they're going through some things and you're wondering, what the heck is wrong with him? What's going on? And sometimes it's because it's the man that he keeps avoiding. And if he keeps avoiding that great man will never show up for you. Kevin also says you're overthinking, you're carrying things you don't think about. You're repeating patterns you don't fully understand. If this is you, even if you're a woman, if this is you, go ahead and put a 5 in the comment. And don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid, because many of us have these patterns. And then we wonder why we can't get to where we're trying to go. A lot of times we just can't get there because we keep repeating the same pattern after pattern after pattern after pattern. And you know what? It keeps us stagnant. So I see many of you are tuning in. Go ahead and tag a friend and tell them to come on in, because in just a moment, we're about to get hot on the box with this book. I invite you to put your questions in the comment. Put your questions in the comment so that we can reserve them for Kevin Thornton when he comes in next week, okay? So with that being said, how many of you have a man in your life? Go ahead, put a 1 in the comment if you have a man in your life. Or if you are the man, go ahead and put a 2 in the comment box. Okay? Put a 2 in the comment box. And now many of you might be saying, Dr. Lotus, who is Kevin Thornton? I'm going to show you a clip in a little bit. Just an intro, so you'll see it, and you'll see it next week as well, just to get you acquainted with him, because this is not him on the front cover of his book. Because this could be any man. This could be someone that you know, love, or care about. So get your notepads and pens. Why? Because note takers are money makers. And I'll be right back after this short introduction. Please welcome the wellness architect, Mr. Kevin Thornton. All right. And welcome back to the show. Tonight we are going to be tapping into the man you keep avoiding. And while I looked at this book, and the first thing I saw was breaking patterns, and then reclaiming your power, and then becoming whole. It really is a whole process, right? So I wanted to talk with all of you tonight, because tonight, this is your show. This is your show. You're going to talk about, hey, these are some patterns I've got. How can I break them? That's going to be a great question for Kevin and I to unwrap next week, right? So let's talk about avoidance. What is it? What is avoidance, and why do we do it? Why do we avoid things? One of the things that we have a problem with is not dealing with things that we don't understand. So I want to make sure that we all understand it. Avoidance. Avoidance, according to the dictionary, says that it's the action of keeping away from not doing something, right? Keeping away from not doing something. How many times were you supposed to take out the trash or go pay a bill or go do an assignment and you didn't do it and you avoided it, and then you avoided the person a little ashamed or bashful, right? What I like is this other definition or quote by Noah Weinberg. Noah Weinberg says people often avoid making decisions out of fear of making a mistake. He said actually the failure to make a decision or make decisions is one of life's biggest mistakes. And now you may be saying, well, why is it one of life's biggest mistakes? It's one of life's biggest mistakes because if you fail to plan, you've heard that, you're gonna fail. And so if you don't plan on handling the things that you have to handle, and now I'm speaking to me, I'm speaking to all of us, because I know personally I have dealt with it and am dealing with it, because there's some things that might pop up that I don't want to face, that I don't want to deal with, but nonetheless, I have to deal with it because avoiding it isn't going to help. Mark Manson said, the more something threatens your identity, the more you will avoid it. So the question becomes, what's threatening your identity? Go ahead and write that down. And you can put it in the chat. What's threatening your identity? Are you a person that wants to always be on time, but you're always late? Write that down. What is the middle part of those two things? You want to be on time, but you always late. So what's happening in the middle part? Because that's the hurdle that's keeping you late. That's the hurdle that's pushing you further and further away from the ideal you that you are trying to become. So it's really about identifying it. Identifying what's threatening you. What's causing you to avoid doing the things that you need to do. That's preventing you from showing up. Okay? The man you keep avoiding. What does that man look like? And for the women out there, what does that woman look like to you? Is that woman a woman or a man that gets up early ahead of all the chatter and takes a moment for prayer or meditation or exercise? A lot of times I go out, I'm out early in the morning, I see people exercising. Sometimes I'm one of those people, I'm on the track. Many of you have seen me on the track many mornings. And it's a routine, it's a thing that have to be done if you want to stay healthy. If you want to stay employed, you got to get to work on time, right? In most cases, right? So you can't avoid that. So who is that person? Who is that person that you say you want to be and that you want to show up in your life? Okay? And so I just want to take a quick minute, make sure I'm welcoming everybody to the show. Please go ahead, share tag people. Okay? And I see Liz out of Newark, New Jersey. Angie's in here from DMV. Thank you so much. Sharing tag. Okay, so let's get right back into it. The avoidance of suffering is a form of suffering. The avoidance of struggle is a struggle. The denial of failure is failure. Hiding what is shameful is itself a form of shame. Mark Manson said that. I wish I had said that. And maybe you've said that. And I've said it just in different ways. And when we are avoiding the struggle of life, when we are avoiding struggling through maybe a relationship or struggling through a tough conversation, whether it's with our children, our significant other, even our pets, right? Because sometimes our pets are a bit much to deal with, but oftentimes it's because we've created the environment by not setting strong boundaries. So we struggle. And then sometimes we're in denial. We are totally in denial that it's a failure, right? And when we stay in denial, it's a failure, right? It's a failure. When we stay in denial, as long as we stay in denial, we can't grow. We can never see what Michael Jackson said, the man or the woman in the mirror, right? And a lot of times we try to hide things because we feel that it's so shameful. But here's a little secret, folks. Here's a little secret I want to share with you. Because I know without a doubt, a lot of the things that we try to hide, it got our heart beating so fast. You know, we're like, oh my God, somebody gonna learn, somebody gonna know. Guess what? They are going through the same thing. Yeah, they're going through the same thing. But they're not telling anybody. But wouldn't it be nice if we could all just be honest and face our fears and face the man that you keep avoiding? Wouldn't that be nice to be able to do that? Wouldn't that? Yeah, give yourself a hand clap. And the more we face what we are putting in the closet of shame, the better off we're going to be. I find that when we don't face ourselves, it breaks our peace. It breaks our peace, right? And Virginia Woolf said, you cannot find peace by avoiding life. So I like to know, what are you avoiding? And you don't have to tell me, right? But just write that down. In the chat, though, put how you are overcoming what you're avoiding. How are you overcoming what you're avoiding? And I'm going to give you a minute while I take a sip of my lemon tea with honey that my honey made. How are you overcoming what you're avoiding? One way that I'm overcoming what I'm avoiding is sitting down, writing it down. The thing that's the hardest sometimes for us to write down is the thing that has the greatest hold on us. It causes the greatest avoidance, okay? And you know what? People often avoid making decisions out of fear of making a mistake. I said that earlier. And so sometimes we just put it off and put it off and put it off because we don't believe in ourselves enough to make the decision. Because right or wrong, a decision still has to be made, right? A decision has to be made. So while we're preparing for Kevin Thornton to join us next week, I encourage you, go ahead and get his book, The Man You Keep Avoiding. And this isn't just for men. This is also for women, because many of you have a man in your life, a significant other, a son, a nephew, a cousin, somebody that might work at the job with you that you know, and you see these great qualities in this person, but there's always something maybe that's just slightly off with this person, right? Hello, from Poughkeepsie. Looks like that's my cousin. Hey there. Good to see you, Michelle. So, this book, The Man You Keep Avoiding, that's right, I'm going to keep saying it all night, because I want to help many of you face that man. And next week, when Kevin Thornton comes into the show, right, I'd love for you to have your questions ready for him. So, I got my fan running, so excuse the tears coming out my eyes. So I want to read something to you from the back of his book. He says, the man you keep avoiding is not about motivation. It's about truth. It's about identifying the habits, beliefs, wounds, patterns that keep men stuck, and giving you the tools to break them. Inside this book, you're going to learn how to identify the patterns that are holding you back, understand why you suppress emotions instead of processing them, breaking cycles that didn't start with you, Rebuild self-trust and discipline. Set boundaries, as I said earlier, right? And stop overextending yourself. Move from survival mode into intentional living. And so tonight, we're going to take just 3 of these and we're going to talk about them very briefly. Okay? How you doing? I see Kim Jacobs from the Kim Jacobs Show. I was on Kim Jacobs Show just a day ago, and we talked about setting positive boundaries. And it's okay to say no, and let your no be no if it's no, and let your yes be yes. So let's talk about understand why you suppress emotions instead of processing them, guys. A lot of men have been groomed to hold it in, not to share their emotions. Many men have been taught how to have low emotional intelligence. But this book is going to help you to have high emotional intelligence. Okay? Let us know where you're streaming in from as well. I like to know if you are connected with a man around the world, maybe ask him, hey, watch this show next week, because they're going to be talking about the man you keep avoiding. He may not want to come to the show, but just say, hey, they got this great guy, Kevin Thornton, the wellness architect. He's going to be on the show. Come watch the show. Because men suppress and they repress. And when they hold those emotions inside, it becomes disease, it becomes heart attacks, it becomes strokes, it becomes debilitating, not just for him, but also for their family, for anybody they're connected to, even for their jobs. Kim said men have to feel safe to share their feelings. Woo, yes. Sometimes men don't feel safe to share because they've been conditioned not to. So men, what does a safe environment to share look like for you? And so when we have Kevin on the show, we're going to ask that question of Kevin. And then I'm going to invite some other men. Kevin and I used to do some round robins when we had our studio in Atlanta before COVID. And we had a panel of various age groups that would come on. And so men, this is an opportunity for you to come in, bring your son, bring your nephew, bring your cousin, bring your best friend, and start unwrapping some of these things in a safe space that has been holding you back. Because it doesn't just hold you back, it holds your family back. It holds everything that you're connected to back in a way. It may be a large way, it may be a small way, but it's a trickle down effect. So then, breaking cycles that you did not start with you. Cycles that didn't start with you. So next week, I'm going to go to the back of this book and I'm going to talk to Kevin about that. Because men, I know many of you are saying, well, how do I break the cycle that didn't start with me? How do I break the cycle? Well, first of all, how do I even know I'm in a cycle? That's a good question. And next week we're going to talk about that. I'm going to ask Kevin about that. And so you got to make sure you're here and write this down in your notes. Okay? Put that in there as a question. Okay? Put that in there as a question. And we had some other questions that we were going to ask Kevin. I'm still going to ask him that. But once I got this book, oh my goodness. I was like, yeah, I got to ask him about this. And now, here's another question that we're going to talk to Kevin about. How can men rebuild trust and discipline within themselves? How can you, and many of you might feel like, you know what? I can't rebuild. I can't start all over. I've done so much wrong. I can't do right. And we know that's not correct. So you can rebuild self-trust. You can rebuild self-discipline. And what it takes is for you to not avoid that man that you're avoiding. Okay? So I see some of you that are coming in. Please share this out. I have a question for you, because many of you have children. You have young grade school sons. You have high school sons. You have college sons and things like that. What is the one thing, and I want you to think about this, what is the one thing that you find most challenging with your son? Is it that he don't want to clean up his room? Is it that he wants to stay out late and hang out? Is it that he's a people pleaser? He's always trying to do everything for everybody. And some of you, yes, have adult sons. And so the relationship with adult sons changes significantly. And so sometimes the man that they're avoiding, they're not going to talk to you about it either, because now they're grown. They feel like, I can't go to mom, I can't go to dad with whatever I'm feeling. And so what is the thing that you feel the most challenged with? Make sure you write that down and bring that to the show next week so we can talk to Kevin about it. So Angie said, what are the signs that women, friends, and partners should know about men, and how can we help them without being pushy? Ooh, that's a good question. Somebody, y'all, we gonna ask that question to Kevin, because men and women speak a different language. So I want you to get that perspective from Kevin, because that's really, really important. I want you to get that perspective from Kevin. That's a great question. Thank you so much. And we are going to ask him that next week when he comes in the house. Yes, yes, yes. And we have Miss Kim Jacobs. That's Dr. Kim Jacobs. She says they want to win financially to change the trajectory of our family. Wow. How does that add pressure or stress to them? Because there's got to be some type of pressure if they're saying, hey, I gotta change this financial thing, and I'm going to take this on. So how do we help our sons, our menfolk, take on these things? Because everybody wants a better life for their families, whether they're the children or the parents or what have you. Everybody wants a better life, and this is a great thing for our men to want. So how do we help them deal with the pressures of working so hard and making out plans to be financially secure? And how do we help them be financially secure? How do we help them become financially literate? Okay, so that's good. We're going to ask Kevin about that next week. Thank you so much, Kim. And Angie says, my father is very protective of his feelings, and oftentimes challenged to share his feelings and feel vulnerable. Wow. Now, Kevin is the wellness architect, and he can speak to that, because men oftentimes have been taught to suppress, not show, not share their feelings, especially those in the military. Okay, because I know someone out there, you're sharing something, your father's military, and we see that. And some of it may be pride, some of it may be upbringing, but it's a condition that they have. And sometimes it has served them well, and sometimes it hasn't. So what are the top 5 ways that men can improve on their emotional intelligence? Wow, that's a great question. And this book, I'm telling you, it is full of amazing tips. So I challenge those of you, if you have a son, you have a husband, significant other, get this book and let them start reading it before next week. And we're going to be taking a lot of questions on books to boom your business for you all. And then she says, I find that I suppress my feelings like my father. So that's the trickle down effect that I talked about earlier. Because when a man is not facing who he is or becoming who he is or desires to become, he is avoiding. So when we avoid as parents or as a person who is guiding a younger person, a lot of times they will take on those same traits. And it becomes a generational thing. Okay? Until we break those type of cycles. And so this is why this book is so important, because it says this book is going to share with you how to break cycles that didn't start with you. And a lot of the cycles that we have, women and men, a lot of these cycles came from our parents, our grandparents, uncles, aunts, those who were in charge of raising us. And some of those cycles do not serve us. And so we have to find a way. If we can't find a way, we have to make a way to overcome those things so that we can be whole. So I'm looking forward to seeing Mr. Kevin Thornton on the show next week. And then we have another amazing young man, Mr. Smallwood. He is coming. He's a former singer. He's an author. Just amazing. You are going to have a great time next Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Books to Boom Your Business. We'll have 2 shows on next week, and we will see you soon. Wait, I have one more thing. I'm definitely my father's daughter. However, I've learned to improve my emotional intelligence, but challenging myself by challenging myself each day. Well, bravo to you. And to all of you that have joined the show tonight, Books to Boom Your Business is waiting for you. If you are an author and you want to come on the show, be sure to connect with us at Lotus at lotusricheignites.com. Send us an email and we'll be happy to screen you and check out your book and bring you to Books to Boom Your Business. Until we meet again, make sure you be blessed, don't stress, always do your best as you ignite and take flight in every area of your life. All right now, take care. Thank you for watching the show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ring that bell so you won't miss a thing. And we'll see you on the next episode of Books to Boom Your Business. If you want to be a guest on the show, please connect with us at Lotus at lotusricheignites.com. To Boom Your Business brings to you authors, speakers, entrepreneurs who have powerful books that will make and keep your business and your personal lives booming. Thank you for watching the show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ring that bell so you won't miss a thing. And we'll see you on the next episode of Books to Boom Your Business. If you want to be a guest on the show, please connect with us at Lotus at lotusricheignites.com. To Boom Your Business brings to you authors, speakers, entrepreneurs who have powerful books that will make and keep your business and your personal lives booming.